On SmackDown, we possibly said goodbye to one of our childhood heroes, and if that was Edge's last match, both men should be very proud. This match was absolutely beautiful, but I do have some good news. This was probably not the last Edge match you've seen. After the show, Edge revealed this. What I can say is this is my last time in front of you all. I don't think that I can make another full year here again for a match. I'm just being honest with you. But don't let that be a downer. Cause man, what an experience you all gave me. I will never forget it. I will never forget it. From what it seems like, Edge said that he will still wrestle, but not a full year. So you never know, but here's the thing. It's up to Edge. Whether on this show he retired or stays in the WWE or even goes to AEW, he doesn't owe wrestling fans anything. Sheamus vs Edge was absolutely beautiful, and the biggest critique this rivalry received is that there's no rivalry, there's no build. Yet on the other hand, I think that was kinda beautiful. Just two friends, Edge versus a guy who got him back into wrestling, possibly wrestling him in his retirement match. I think it's a beautiful story. In general, this episode of SmackDown was a little bit different. If you're tired of the Bloodline storyline, well, you got a little break, because the only time Bloodline was mentioned, outside of probably thousands of video packages, was when Paul Heyman talked to someone, which I can only assume was Rikishi, because Paul Heyman didn't reveal who it was. It was probably Rikishi with that fat ass. This video is sponsored by Wrestling GM, where you can actually prove that you can book it better. Wrestling GM is the best wrestling simulation game in the world. The only game where you can be a business owner, TV show writer, and universe creator at the same time. Pick who fights, who becomes champion, manage each wrestler's career, write your own storylines and feuds, and even create your own wrestlers and companies. Find out why 250k plus players continually keep playing Wrestling GM. The game is very deep and the opportunities to play it are endless. It is the perfect mix of creativity and strategy. You can control and create all the outcomes within the game. I also played this game before on my channel. The playlist of Wrestling GM series is in the description below. Wrestling GM is available on all iOS and Android devices, and there's a link to download the game in the description below. Now, this episode of SmackDown kicked off with the Grayson Waller effect. Of course, Grayson Waller being delusional, he says, "I bet Edge is going to thank me for making him relevant again," and then introduces his special guests, Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Rey Mysterio is happy to be the new United States champion, but Grayson Waller is trying to make them turn on each other. He's trying to tell Santos Escobar that he should be jealous. He says Santos Escobar should have won that championship. Rey Mysterio stole it from him. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar said, "No, this is all about familia." Grayson Waller says, "Oh, so you're like co-champions." And this was hilarious. Rey Mysterio was like, "No, not co-champions, but this is all about familia." My man couldn't even pretend. You know, Rey, just say that, yeah, we're co-champions. We're both champions. Except my, name is on the WWE.com and in the record books. But we're all champions. When one of us is champion, all of us in LWO are champions. But my man couldn't say that. He was like, no, not co-champions. Champion, United States title, me. Then Santos Escobar talked about Austin Theory. Austin Theory last week injured his leg and said that he's going to get his revenge. Then we see Austin Theory, and Austin Theory says it was unfair. I should be a champion right now. I wasn't supposed to face Rey Mysterio. So he calls out Adam Pearce and tells them to give the championship back to Austin Theory. Adam Pearce says, "I figured you would say that, but nobody wants to listen anymore." We see LA Knight. LA Knight congratulates Rey Mysterio for winning the United States Championship, but says, "No matter who's a champion, that championship is coming to me sooner or later." So he, suggests a match. What about LA Knight versus Austin Theory, #1 contenders match for the United States Championship? Adam Pearce makes it official. I know it may not be the result y'all wanted, but hear me out. So first of all, yes, we got LA Knight versus Austin Theory. The match was actually really fun. We got The Miz watching, and The Miz was so much fun on commentary. It's crazy how The Miz, is sometimes a jobber, sometimes a main eventer, sometimes a mid-carder, sometimes a host, but he's a guy that can make you care in minutes and forget about everything that happened in the past. I absolutely love this storyline. The Miz was interfering a lot, talking crap. Eventually, this cost LA Knight the match. LA Knight is pissed, and Austin Theory is going to face Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. I'm not happy too, but I get it. That's not the story right now. Eventually, LA Knight is going to win the United States Championship. Not right now. It's going to happen at a big pay-per-view, in my opinion. That is the end goal. I think so, at least. Right now, it's about The Miz versus LA Knight. The storyline is great. The Miz all of a sudden is entertaining again, which is crazy. And I like it because now it's even more personal. He just cost him the championship. I know most of you understand, but don't worry, he's not getting buried. Then we got Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair versus Io Sky and Bayley. This was a pretty fun match. We've seen it before, it seems like many times. Not sure of this exact match, but yeah, it's dragging a little bit. I think eventually Charlotte Flair or Bianca Belair are going to turn on one another. Not sure which one. I believe it's time for Bianca to turn heel, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. So the match was alright, except for that one spot where we were supposed to get a hot tag, but Io Sky or Bayley, I think, forgot. So Charlotte had to pretend that she just, couldn't make the tag, even though she could have made that tag like 10 seconds ago. Eventually, Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair won the match, and they're on good terms, it seems like. I don't know about you guys. I think it should be Bianca Belair who turns heel. If she's going to turn heel. And I think she should. I know she doesn't want to. I think I've heard these rumors. I could be totally wrong, but I think she said that she wants to be like John Cena. Which I get, but man, there's so much potential. Then Bianca Belair got attacked backstage and it seems like she's injured. Then we got the OC versus the Street Profits. It's kind of a shame that the Street Profits didn't get that much of a makeover. I love the way they looked in suits, but now they just look kinda too similar. I'm not seeing that big of a difference, but I think that will change over time. This was a bit of a nothing burger, but the Street Profits won the match and celebrated with Bobby Lashley. And you know what they did next. Women. Paul Heyman was into it and he doesn't want to talk about the bloodline. He got a call and it's about Jimmy Uso. Jimmy will be on SmackDown next week. Kayla says, who's the source? But Paul Heyman refuses to answer. At this point, we all seen the spoilers. It seems like Rikishi is going to be the special guest referee at Payback, so I think it's Rikishi. I think finally Rikishi, is going to bring the belt and spank these two little boys. I know some of you are tired of this bloodline storyline, but trust me, we will see a lot of great moments. I think it's not over. Until we get WrestleMania, the bloodline will be no more. It's going to be Reigns, Cody, the bloodline, anything anymore. Finally, we saw Edge versus Sheamus. This was emotional, man. Edge got such a big pop. We saw Beth Phoenix in the crowd crying, so it kinda, told me that this might be his retirement match. I didn't see what he said after the show, obviously. This was a really, really, really good match. Sometimes you just don't need a big rivalry. It's all about the feeling that a match gives you. Edge was on top of his game, man, tonight. He was like, if this was my last match, I better deliver. We've seen some spots, some moves from Edge that we've never seen before, and it's kind of crazy, he keeps talking about how it's getting hard, but you can't tell. You really can't tell that this man is struggling or whatever the case may be. He's really good in that ring. I also love the near falls. We got a brogue kick and I was like, okay, he lost, but he didn't. Then we got a spear. Then we got brogue kick and spear at the same time. Edge connects with the spear. 1, 2, 3, and Edge takes the W. This was emotional. And, the show ends with both Sheamus and Edge hugging. Really, really beautiful moment. Not sure what's gonna happen with Edge. I do see him going to AEW, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he's going to get a great contract in the WWE and he can wrestle like 2, 3, 4 times a year. And I believe that should be the case. He doesn't need to wrestle on SmackDown or Raw anymore. Just save him for these big ass matches, if he's going to stay, which is up to him, It doesn't matter at this point. It's just really hard to say goodbye. But anyway, people, that was your SmackDown. A pretty decent show. Pretty refreshing, I would say. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.